You know, you could just have me beatbox here. You could do that.
The Phony Express Show podcast.
These motherfuckers. But, like, if the internet gets a hold of this, and I'm not blaming the people, like the cooks or the waitress. It's not their fault. It's a raging alcoholic. Correct. Yeah. You know, it's just shit food. It's shit food. Shit for 5 minutes.
The Phony Express Show podcast.
The intro would roll.
The Phony Express Show podcast. Phony Express Show podcast.
This one was really good, though. On the radio.
I know, it's the fucking best.
That's what I'm talking about.
Phony Express Show podcast.
What up, everybody? It is Kev Tom coming to you live from the basement, and we are not live, but we are live. We got a fantastic show for you today.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back. It's Sunday. We made it to Sunday.
We're
and
back.
I survived the weekend.
That is a huge thing.
Yes.
God. But we got a good one for you. If you're with us on YouTube.
Loads to talk about today.
You are lucky today. We have a surprise for our YouTube guests today. If you're listening, we would like you to smash that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Follow us, because we do check the numbers, and guess what? The numbers are up.
The numbers are up.
We've been looking at the numbers, guys. They're up.
But again, we don't talk about our numbers.
No. But
All we'll say,
No. We're talking about it.
they're up.
They're up. Yeah.
Sky high.
So, tell me about the shirt, B. Let's hop right into it.
Well, this is when life gets you down shirt.
Wow.
Remember?
Poetic.
It's just one down and the rest are up.
What is it? Let me see.
It's the motorcycle gear shift pattern.
When life. What is that? Is that like a crank? When life.
No, those are chains in between.
When life chains gets you down. No, that or this one. What is that?
Just read the shirt, Kevin.
When life gets you down, remember, it's only one down, then the rest are up.
Bam.
Cool. Oh, 'cause neutral is in
Yeah.
between 1 and 2.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like a car. It's not an H pattern, an H pattern gearbox.
Whatever.
It's a sequential 6-speed. At least on my motorcycle.
Sure.
So,
Well, cool shirt. I can read it. That's positive.
yeah. It's not a picture, it's just words, which is great.
It's got the
It's got a
gear
little
on
picture on it, I
It's got
suppose,
the
but
gears on the.
this is a fresh one. Actually arrived from Blip Shift 2 days ago.
Wow.
Ordered this one after one of our late night shows. Pretty sure I ordered it on your couch upstairs.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Speaking of, I was showing you Hyperdrive up there. You only
let's
saw,
talk about Hyperdrive.
You only saw maybe
so
5 minutes.
I would
one
say
driver.
Yeah, one run, if you will, and I did not know that this show existed. Let me
Hyperdrive
preface this.
on
This is a
Netflix.
fresh. Kevin sits me down and literally says, "Play. What do you think?"
He just happened to come in at a great time too. The favorite, because it's a competition show about driving. The favorite happened to be this Brazilian guy, and I happened to be at the time where he was going to go at his first run. So you're seeing this guy drive. Anyway, so
Look, let me break down Hyperdrive for you in less than 30 seconds. It's the car show for people that aren't car guys or gals. It's the car
You don't
show
think
for
so?
people. Yes, there's a reason you're into it.
I'm not into it. I just found it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying it's not for
I learned about it.
like a car enthusiast would be watching this show, and it is cool. Like they do some cool stuff. They have
Right.
good driving in it, but
Right.
it feels very staged.
But do you think?
And like they added
you
even
saw
like a little
one-
bit of drama about like his
Eh.
handbrake, just like to add a little drama. Like,
I agree.
but shit
That
breaks
seems
because you're racing.
right.
So when shit breaks, you just deal with it and move on. Like you don't need to like dramatize it.
I'm with you. So earlier in that show, because I have seen the first, so that was the second episode, and I'll admit I have seen the first episode, and so in the first episode, a lot of
Did you
shit-
watch the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole first episode.
Okay. How long are they?
I think it's like a half hour.
Okay, this is a 30-minute quickie.
So
okay.
I'm 45 minutes through the show. You happen to see 5 minutes.
You have real time dedication now, real commitment
yeah, at least
to the show.
30 minutes to 45 minutes, and a lot of shit breaks. So the Japanese guy, there's a Japanese team, and there's all the different teams, like I was saying.
What was he driving?
He's got like a modded cop car. So he's got like red and blue
It's like
lights.
is it a Vic?
They call him the Drift Sensei. He like has a driving school in Japan where he teaches drifting, and he's known as the Drift Sensei. And in Japan, to get that name, you got to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's like Tokyo Drift with
Right.
guys like DK. It's
Right,
Drift King. But this is that's made up. This is like a real
thing.
This
Yeah.
is like a real position this dude holds.
This guy, yeah, he was racing early. He was the guy right before when you walked in. But shit breaks on his car too, and they have to like deal with it. It's cool. And like I said, they got the Lambo guy, and the Lamborghinis are not supposed to drift. They're supposed to hug a track.
Yeah, but a Lambo will drift with enough horsepower.
Well, that's so he,
A stock one will
built
drift.
he built. Well, you should see he does a 540 in a tiny box.
Oh yeah, he's got a 2-wheel drive like Huracan.
He's got
or a
and
Gallardo.
but he's got a switch.
Yeah,
that
he's got a
going.
2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive
He's got the
switch.
switch.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think
So,
that's
yeah.
a stock. I didn't think you can't.
I'd say give it a little more time, but I see what you're trying to say.
Okay, so I'll commit another
10 minutes.
I'll commit at least another 10 to 15
I do
minutes
have
to
to admit,
this
though,
show,
There's a little drama.
and we'll see where it goes.
There's this young gal. She
Is each episode only about one driver?
no
The whole episode?
no. That's all there's going to be about him, and then so now the next driver is going to be up. So it's like 5
Okay.
minutes. But there's this gal. She's Spanish, and she's from Spain. But she was very young, and then her BMW it got waterlogged because there's a portion where they have to like drive through water. Too much water got in the engine, and it just blew up. And then she
The
was
intake.
super,
It wasn't a snorkel intake on her race car?
right,
Gosh.
because it's not stock,
No.
So anyway, she failed that challenge, and she was like very heartbroken about it. It was very emotional. But it was like, oh, that's sad. But you're right, they pumped it up, the drama.
Yeah, like it's the car show for car guys.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, Charlize Theron.
it's like a
produces
game
it.
show, but it's
Yeah.
like a competition show for drivers.
I thought it was cool.
I mean,
think it's
the
cool.
concept is
I've
cool.
only seen about 43 minutes.
Yeah, we're
of the
gonna
show.
commit another 10 to 15. Again, we're talking about Hyperdrive
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah, I heard Reggie told me about it.
Who's Reggie?
It's just Reggie Watts.
Oh,
He plays keyboards on Comedy Bang Bang, that show that existed way back in the day. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. Anyway,
So for all our YouTube viewers, Tom has a hat on.
I have a Yamaha hat on tonight.
But under that hat, he has a nose and a forehead.
My face is fucked from the weekend.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us? So Tom came back from Proving Grounds. He's alive.
I mean, it wasn't Proving
You
Grounds.
are
It was
ins-
Power
You are
Cruise.
very sunburned.
I am just.
Let me see that.
I'm
Let me
roasted.
see that farmer's tan.
It's insane, dude. Look.
Oh, show
It's
the camera
bad.
that. Show the
It's
camera that
terrible.
tan. Wow. No. Come on. Let me see that tan, brah. Wow. Yes. Show the camera. Do a little camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pump it to the camera. One of these to the camera. Yeah. They can see it. Oh
Right.
yeah.
So I got some sun.
So talk to me. So you got there. How long until? Tell me the story. There's a lot we can talk about.
No, well, just basically, we show up and it's a cruising event. So
Seemed cool.
so they have like 4 sessions throughout the day where you can go cruise on the track.
I'm listening.
So that's what we did. We did that for the first day. We didn't really do it the second day. Colton and I were basically just like on our mini bikes the
Yeah.
whole time. We
So-
were gang pretty hard.
Right. How immediately did you?
Immediately.
Yeah.
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 Immediately.
And how soon? Before,
Noon.
How soon before Finna came out?
Oh, it was
Immediate.
later in the day.
Yeah.
2 nights straight.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
we
I saw
are-
the snaps. I was like, oh, he's
We
gone.
are.
He's gone.
We are.
Sailing.
We are back to on the regular now.
Was it the fire that got you going?
We burned a Coleman camping chair because it got broke on day 1.
Wow.
So I woke up on day 2 and there was just a Coleman camping chair like sitting on the fire. Because we had to burn it. If some breaks, you don't take it home. You just
Sure.
burn it. We're camping.
I'm with you.
So Mary and Chuck, I owe you a Coleman camping chair.
Oh, it was your chair.
Yeah. It's the same one, that green one. It was the green one's brother.
So why don't you just give that one to them?
Well, that one is also theirs.
Oh, I see.
But it doesn't matter. I'll just go get a couple more Coleman camping chairs to make sure that we have plenty of supply
Sure.
in case
sure.
things go awry
Yeah.
at the Brainerd International Raceway.
Gotcha. So you're back though.
yeah, so we're back. So we had a great time. We had an absolute blast.
What were the
Party with
highlights
my
of,
coworkers.
I mean, you crashed the bike, so how'd that happen?
Yeah, I mean,
How'd you crash Coleman, Bob? And does it exist or is it gone?
nope,
Totaled?
the Coleman exists. It still runs great.
It does?
Yep.
That's positive.
I basically crashed myself.
Yeah, what happened to your face, right?
I,
Talk to me.
tripped on a log
This
going
is
to bed
so this
on
is
night
what,
one.
This is what happens when you fall on your face is you have to tell.
You have to explain it to the people.
Yeah.
You have to tell the people
Yeah.
what happened. Why is your face fucked?
This is this is for all our YouTube fans. This is what they've been waiting
This is
for.
it. This is
Yeah.
it.
So
So
what
it's
happened?
really not bad.
You tripped
but
over a log, huh?
Yeah. We did it with style
Wow.
and grace. Anyway, so the great weekend was great. There was a bunch of really cool people up there, a bunch of really, really, really fast cars. Finally got to see some of these this Ford GT that was up there.
Yeah, I saw
It
that.
was Coy was out there and they were full
that
send
yellow?
on the thing.
Was it yellow?
It's yellow. It has
That's
1,400 horsepower.
Yeah, that's
It's
sick as
just
hell.
fucking. He was ripping it.
I'd love to have it.
You're supposed to stop at 100 miles an hour, but that people were going faster than 100. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, it's the race track, right?
Oh, someone I know pulled up next to us on day one. We're just out here chilling, pounding a couple heaters by the truck, and this guy pulls up, and his name is Cody, and he has a white Corvette Z06, like a really nice one. It's like a 16 with the 8-speed auto.
Nobody rob him.
Nobody rob him.
You should call him a different name.
But he gets it out of the truck, and out of the trailer. I didn't realize that this car's it's like 1,100 wheel horsepower.
The
It
Z06?
is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a huge Pro Charger on it, and once I looked over the car, I finally got a horsepower figure out of him. He said I'm within 100 basically of Adam. The thing is running hot. But the problem is the first session on the track it started on fire and burned to the ground. So it's not really an effective car if in your first cruising session you don't have a car anymore. I'm not talking I'm not talking it broke, or doesn't run good anymore. I'm thinking that it's totaled.
That's like Hyperdrive.
No,
If your car breaks, you're out of the competition.
We'll have to touch more on Hyperdrive later.
I'm just trying to use it as a metaphor
After
for life.
I invest more time, I need another 15. I gotta watch another. How about
15
just
minutes, yeah.
a whole episode?
Yeah, yeah.
If I can get through one start to finish,
You can give me some feedback.
then I will review.
All right.
We'll bring everyone into the Bob Zone, and I will do an official Hyperdrive review.
All right, we'll wait on that then.
So I had a funny thing happen to me this week.
Yeah.
I go to Subway. By the way, this is roast beefgate.
Oh yeah,
This is Bob's News,
how turkey
and we're going to
is-
talk today on Bob's News. We're going to talk about roast beefgate.
You mean turkey,
Okay, so at Subway,
right?
they do not have roast beef anymore,
I think I heard that. Yeah, correct.
or
I got it. Yeah,
the rotisserie style chicken. This is
right.
they just secretly eliminated them off the menu.
Why?
You
though?
can't get a real Subway club now.
Right, but why'd they do that?
I don't know.
I thought it was because everything. was-
COVID supply, maybe. They're eliminated off the menu now.
I knew that, but I thought it was because everything was made out of turkey.
Yeah, but did you know that going there to get the roast beef turkey club, you can't do a club sandwich without roast beef.
I think they just do ham.
No, they put bacon on it instead, and it's
Oh.
terrible.
Turkey, ham.
I want,
bacon.
but you want
a
a
club.
club sandwich:
Yeah, what is on a club sandwich? What would you make on a club sandwich?
turkey, ham, and roast beef,
Is that a club?
American cheese, lettuce, and mayo.
I always thought a club.
The
was
mayo
like,
is key.
I always thought a club was like three, almost not like 3 layers of
It's
bread.
3 meats, cheese, lettuce, and mayo
I always thought it was like this.
on white bread.
Here, give me this: white bread, maybe a thing of lettuce, ham, white bread, turkey, cheese, white bread. Do you see what I mean? The stackerage.
Yeah. And
That's what I thought a
sometimes
club
they
sandwich
put bread in the middle.
That's what I would. That's
Yeah.
what I think a club sandwich is.
It's
the
like
bread in the
2
middle.
sandwiches in one.
Yeah, but it's only like 2 different meats: turkey and ham.
Yeah.
You could put turkey, ham, and bacon. That's a club sandwich, I think.
So I just had to touch on that. Anyone that's trying to go to Subway and get a real sandwich
So
with
wait,
roast
wait,
beef,
sorry.
you can't anymore.
So you were a roast beef guy.
Huge.
Oh,
And
you-
the rotisserie chicken.
You got the club. This directly impacted you.
Yes.
Wow. See, I was like an Italian BLT
I
guy.
was going there to get.
Yeah, I get it now. Because I went Italian
So
BLT.
I had to go and
My life has not been impacted by roast beef gate.
no.
But yours has been severely.
Yeah,
Or
I don't-
significant.
I'm not gonna go back to Subway for a while.
Fuck Subway.
Fuck Subway. Fuck
Yeah.
Zamzar. Fuck Subway.
Zamzar.
We're
is-
just gonna.
Fuck
what we're gonna do.
Zamzar, man.
We're just gonna have a list of things that
Well, fuck
we-
Zamzar for sure.
fuck them.
For sure.
You know, cost you like $5.99 to find out it was free.
Yeah.
You know. Well, that's all I got. I didn't do any prep this week.
Well, prep, you don't need prep.
Yeah.
We don't need prep. I read a lot of stuff this week. Tons of stuff is going on, man.
Dude,
And I'm just trying to be lighthearted.
COVID's
about it,
blowing
you know?
up again, apparently.
Dude, we need the COVID joke.
Oh, yeah, the
You owe
C.
a couple.
The C word. You can't say it.
Well, you can't say it. It's just annoying. Because I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. There's skis in the corner. So, Afton, Afton?
What about Afton?
Um,
Afton Alps?
I think.
The
but
only time I ever go to Afton is to go skiing. Like, I had never been to Afton, the town.
you don't ski, though.
No, I snowboard. Same thing. I mean, not the same thing.
But they're like emailing saying like, hey, if you buy a season pass right now, we'll give you like a day for free. And I'm like, what a inappropriate thing to tell me.
A season pass for this coming season?
Yeah, and they'll give me like
They're
one
probably
day
just
for
concerned
free.
about their sales numbers.
Well, no, I mean, it's probably normal. Like, it's probably what they do every year.
Yeah.
It's just like, why would I
Who
only...
buys their season pass right now?
Yeah, and the incentive is one day.
It's like $600. They're owned by Vail now.
My point is the incentive is like one extra day.
Why would that matter if you're getting a season pass?
Why don't you tell me, like, we'll pay for you to go to Colorado? Not like plane tickets, but it'll be like, if you want to go to Colorado, we'll give you like the weekend free in terms of lift tickets.
Yeah.
And then it's
Like
like,
3 days.
and then it's like,
You know, it's like $140 a day out there.
right, but think about it this way. Right, exactly. It would be a good value.
It's, yeah.
They'd give you, it'd be like $400. It would be basically be like a buy one get one almost. Hey, if you buy the season pass for $600, which means
It would be the deal.
which means you'd go to Vail and it'd be $100 each day. It'd be like, okay, we'll give you the weekend in Vail for free, Vail, real Vail, but you have to get there. So 50% of the people probably won't make it. So so they lose no money, and then the other people, they have a good experience and they spend all that extra money on F&B, hotels, bullshit in Vail. So it's a win-win. But they end up sending me an email that says like, we'll give you an extra day. And I'm like, you've just embarrassed yourselves. That marketing department or whatever
Yeah,
it is,
terrible.
just embarrassing.
Terrible.
I just am getting so sick of people just embarrassing themselves like that. You know, like professionally, they're like, hey, we'll give you like 5% off. It's like, you'll shit in a can and then,
Why don't they just charge less?
yeah. Like people
You
don't
know,
understand. Like people
Like,
are
maybe
looking
we're
for a
priced too
deal.
high.
Well, it's like people that go to the dealership, right? They're looking for like a deal. But
Yeah,
what
they
a deal
look
means,
at the sticker price versus
Right.
what we're selling it for.
right? And they want to say, "Can you make that cheaper?" That's all they're looking for. And if you can, magic, whatever that means.
That's
then
why
they
you
will
never
purchase.
start. That's why when you're in sales, you never actually start at your best price.
Of course not. But
Because then you lose all credibility.
it's the negotiating, right? I've never read The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump, but I'm just going to say disregard that from your mind, and I'm just going to say if there was such thing as the art of the deal, correct me if I'm wrong, here's like the value, and we have to overvalue it because here it is. Okay? The thing. Look how awesome the thing is, overvalued. Because here it is.
Right.
It is here. You didn't go to a tomb and dig it up. There's the thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm just talking about a thing. Here's the thing, overvalued. So the person comes up, and if the person's like, oh, there it is. I get that it's that value. I have enough. Here it is. You're like, great. Here you go. Easy transaction. That's a good customer. Most people theoretically get the picture. An apple is 2 cents. Whatever, you move on with your life. But for people that like want a deal, which is everybody. So
Everybody
like if you're-
wants a deal.
So if you need
Even rich guys like deals.
Right.
They don't care.
Right. So now let's pretend here's the thing, overvalued. But there's a bunch of things next to you. You're in a marketplace. So here's the thing, but then there's a guy next to you like, but look at my thing. Look at this thing. And you're like, no, I need attention on my thing, my overvalued thing that I make a living on over here. And this guy's not like, no, I'm going to compete for your attention. Now we have marketing, right? Now we have marketing. Now we need to be like, hey, if you talk to me, I'll give you a fucking stick of gum for free. And while you chew that gum, you can listen to me while I talk about my thing, right? Now we have marketing that exists now because of the competition, okay? Fast forward.
You got to make your shit look good.
Right. So fast forward, you get to, how do I get the closing? We get to closing. Okay? Which is what all salespeople, they go to
ABC,
seminars.
always be closing.
Salespeople, they go to like seminars and shit to like learn this.
In sales, you either have it or you don't have it.
Right. And people like, they just, I'm not trying, it's not magic, but it's, all it is can you give the person you're selling to a deal? Is it a deal? And if they see it as a deal, you have what we call a deal.
People don't believe me when I tell them that we don't make any money selling a new car.
I believe, but because it's through financing and the banks and
Yeah,
the bullshit.
that's where the money is.
Which is why it's a very fragile system, because you need to always be selling cars.
Always be closing.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, my point is that when you send me an email like that says like, hey, we'll give you some bullshit, it's like, that's what's called a bad salesperson. He comes up to you and he's like, hey, here's some shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want to listen to you. And you're like, I'm not going to go back to that dealership. Like, fuck that guy. You know? That's what we call a bad salesman. And then they have to go to seminars because their company's like, your numbers are down, Bob.
Bob.
You know? Or Frank. Hey, Carlin, your fucking numbers. Carl, your numbers are down. We're going to send you to Phoenix. You're going to go to a little seminar.
We're going to spend money on you.
Yep, and then you're going to learn how to close. And then you're
Right.
going to go through these strategies of like emotional things and how to make people like realize that the blah blah, that the overvalued thing should be blah blah blah. And I've been to these things because like when you get a job in sales, sometimes it's just part of the curriculum because it's just like school. Sometimes a company is advanced enough to actually have a development plan where like at 6 months, if you do well, it's like we have to train you now. Like you have to go to class A because we do that to all our employees. You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, I've done some of this stuff, and you learn some funny things. And they always make the closing part so convoluted, so complicated that at the end of the day, you're right. You either have it or you don't. But my whole thing is like when I see somebody, you know, if like you say when somebody comes in the dealership, you know if they're going to buy a car or not.
I already know.
Right.
The
But
second.
so you know because that person inherently is going to either like with the rules
with
that you
the
can
internet
play
now, people don't waste their time.
I know. Yeah, that makes
But
it.
you don't
yeah,
have
I agree
to.
with that. I agree with that.
You're going to go and like when you went into IKEA, you knew you were going to go in there and buy a couch.
I did all the research up front.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You even probably
with
had the
hotels,
part number for the
same
guy.
thing. Yep. With what we do, sales is kind of the whole going back to the competition with the marketing. Now you have to be like, hey, here's everything about my product. So by the time the customer comes, they're very educated, which is good. That would
I
be
love
a
that.
positive. Right.
Makes my life easy when the customer is educated.
Because then, like we were talking about with the, hey, look at my overvalued thing. They come in, they say, yup, I get it. Here's what I want. And you're like, good call. Here's what you get. And it's an easy deal.
How about rebates?
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother thing, right?
Like just anyway.
A rebate is like,
Always be
check it out.
closing.
A rebate is like the veil thing. A rebate is like,
yeah,
hey.
yeah, I know.
Or like, did you ever see that Nathan For You? Great show for the listeners. out
Never
there.
seen it.
You have not?
No.
All right, so Nathan Fielder, I think.
What's this guy's name?
Nathan Fielder, I'm pretty sure.
Nathan For You. It's a real show.
Correct, on Comedy Central, or was. It's on. You can find it online.
I'll have to look
I'm
into
pretty
that.
sure it's on Hulu. I
Maybe
think
I'll give it 30 minutes of my time.
one of the funny shows, if not. It's real. And he basically, if you can imagine a bar rescue for companies, that's
Okay.
what he does.
That
But
could
anyway,
be cool.
so he goes to this guy. Well, you brought it up. Not to spoil it, but there's a rebate episode. And basically he's like, how am I going to sell more? I forget what he sells, but let's say it's donuts, right? And he says like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Like if somebody buys a donut, they get a rebate, free donut. So basically it's a buy one, get one, but they advertise it as, hey, if you fill out the rebate, it's free. You just have to fill out the rebate. And they're like, okay. So all these people come up and they're like, hey, I'm here for my free donut because they marketed it as like it's free. So they come, there's like, yes, it is free, but it's a rebate, so you have to pay first.
Yeah.
So they pay, but then they're like, okay, I'll do the rebate. And he put the mailbox for the rebate on the top of a mountain. So you would have to climb the mountain to drop the slip off to pay the rebate, because the guy's like, how are we going to make money if we're just refunding 100% of the cost? So he said, I'll put the mailbox on top of a mountain. So anyway, maybe like 3 people get to the mountain and do it. So that's the Vale example. Maybe like 3
All right,
people.
so I got to watch Nathan for You. I'm going to put 30 minutes into that one.
Yeah, it's a good show. Anyway.
So
it grinds my gears, man.
So last week we ordered a splitter on the air.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think that splitter's working.
It is. We're talking through it right now, which means
what's breaking news, Kevin?
we're 4 mic capable.
4 mics.
Boom. Now we're still only 2 headphone capable, unless we want to.
Do I need to order something on Amazon?
You said you have a 3.
I thought I did. I don't know where it is.
Okay. If a 4 splitter for headphones exists, that's all we need.
That
The
would
segment, buy something for the show. Can we do some research?
We want to educate ourselves before we make any
Any purchases.
decision, any big purchase decisions. here.
Correct. Because that's the world today. You look up what you're buying, you read, you spend a couple times, and then if somebody's uninformed and they come in, then the seller.
The
wins.
last thing I searched for on Amazon was soundproofing.
Soundproofing. Oh yeah, we don't need soundproofing.
No, we're good.
Because if you're even here, you barely hear me.
Is it a headphone
You know what I
splitter?
mean?
What's the official
I think headphone
like
splitter.
4-way?
Headphone splitter. Yeah. A headphone. Did you take your belt off? Oh, you.
Yeah,
look
it's more
great.
comfortable like that.
YouTube really has a great view of the bee. The landlord brought it up. You got to see some great feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got to see some great feet. I love it.
Why are you bringing up our 360p footage on YouTube?
We're trying to get the numbers up.
They're up. They've been up.
They've been up, guys. We've been checking the numbers.
All right,
They've
Kevin.
been up. You have to do me a favor though.
5-way multi-headphone audio splitter.
5-way?
5.
5 is good. Why? Because if Mo ever comes and wants to look shit up, you can just sit over there and in the Coleman camping chair. If these 2 spots are full, there's the 5th, and you can just chill and look stuff up. If we're in a situation where we have 4 mics full and
It's
an extra-
$11.48.
an extra person, $11?
Yeah, dude.
Well, is there a 4 or a 3?
There's a 5.
We'll compare.
This is like a nice one. We're gonna get the nice
You
stuff.
want the $12 one?
Wait, yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna get
Measure
the nice gear.
Measure twice, cut once, though. Remember the mic stand that was like $40, but we ended up getting this great mic stand for how much?
I think it was like $19.99.
Yeah. How you feel? You like it?
I feel like a professional.
Yeah. So I was researching, and when I say researching, I just mean like
I should find out how much a new Coleman camping chair is too.
I bought a chair at Target for $14, I think.
The 3-legged one right here?
No, the one that I sat on earlier in episode 1, 2, and 3. Maybe 4? Maybe 5?
I mean, look at how nice that is, Kevin.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And I think it'll really improve the show.
Well, I mean, we just have multiple headphones at that point. That's amazing.
Well, we can do 4 mics.
When we evolve.
Do
as
I
we
need to
evolve-
order another splitter so we can do 4 mics, or are we just like
Technically,
4
yes.
mic
You
ready?
need another splitter, and then we need 2 more mics. We just need to duplicate this whole thing right here. And we don't need more mic stands because we don't have room for them.
Yeah,
They'll just have to hold
right.
the mics in their hands, which is fine.
Yeah, they're not cool enough to get a mic stand.
Well, the mic
Do you
stand,
think that
fits here.
people will be
Because then we can look
more
at them.
excited about coming on the show if they know that like we're souped up with like cool gear?
Yeah, but they just can't have mic stand, unfortunately.
You know
but
what
that'll be good because then it encourages you to. You have to put the mic next to your mouth when you're talking.
Yeah, this is
So
easier.
if somebody's
though.
telling a story, you have to like really talk into the mic. You know,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, I had to talk.
In fact, I even want to like tape this so it never goes off. Because why would I ever want to like
again,
turn the shit off?
these are microphones from a local department store.
They work great.
They work great.
Fantastic. So tell me more about this log you tripped on.
I'd rather not.
Why?
Just not touch on that.
Why?
Yeah, I was tripping on a log. It happens. And I crashed my Coleman, so,
Right.
it was just a wild weekend.
I guess.
It was just fun.
Do you remember it or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure. Cool. Anyway.
So, yeah.
So as I'm working on the description.
We got things that we need to do.
Okay.
We've got certain tasks that we come out on this show every week.
Okay.
And we get these tasks done. We accomplish
Things?
things.
I think that's just organic, though.
Yeah, I think so too. But I really
What's the next step? What do you want to do?
I need to order this 5-star
Yeah,
splitter
you get the
thing.
splitter. I'll go to Target and try to get these mics, and if they don't have them, I'll just order some.
Target.
Oh, right. Who gives us no money?
They don't give us any money from Target.
Nobody gives us money.
So
But if Hyperdrive would like to sponsor us, please, we will. I know Michael Bisbing is the announcer guy. He's a cool dude. The other two guys, though, I mean, Bob could take that one guy's spot that doesn't know shit about cars, and then I could definitely just talk like the guy who I like. He's the main guy that talks, but I could do that too. And
did I buy something last week?
Viva Mexico!
Oh, it's already coming.
Oh, it's Brazil!
So I'll have it
Hey!
by probably Thursday.
Huh? Oh, Thursday?
Yeah, next week we'll be ready to go.
Nice. But there would be no use unless we get a guest next week.
That's big.
That's big.
I'm
can
just
bring
saying,
somebody
are we
in.
ready for that?
Fuck yeah, we don't do any prep. We need somebody here to do
Oh,
something.
yeah. If we're not going to do... Oh, yeah, I forgot. So-and-so's going to be on the show this week, so now I can do less prep.
Well, theoretically, I mean, just remember things that happened
perfect.
in your week.
I'm
And
excited.
answer my questions when I ask them,
Will do.
And you can ask me questions, too. if
And
you like.
or, depends on who it is, but I would probably formulate some questions for them. Or maybe just topics of discussion.
I just thought about this. Questions. I should if I have a question, I have to think about a question. I should write down the question. And then I should be
Yeah.
I was thinking about the question, and then it'd be like, huh.
Nope.
Just like an interview question.
Okay.
Like somebody would be sitting here and be like, you know what I was thinking about? And then they would give their perspective on the
you
question.
write down all your questions that you have
Just
for the
some
guest.
questions. I don't know.
Or you could just let the guest ramble.
What have we
Do
done?
their time to shine.
What have we done today on the podcast? So I can get half the description.
Well, I brought
done.
you the Bob's news. Roast beef gate's happening. It's real.
Cool.
That's gone. I had a crazy weekend up at Brainerd, and that's all. Long periods of dead air. So I will have this 5-way
We talked about
splitter.
Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive. Oh, you're doing the description. See, we're getting work done while we hang out down here in the basement.
Yeah, there's no. Who cares about dead air?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's a
I suppose it's our show.
it's a pause for the listeners to
catch up
well,
on
you
all
just
the shit that
refocus,
we've
you
covered tonight.
recenter,
All the shit we've covered.
retune.
We've just been ripping through content.
Yeah. So I went to that 3D archery range with Nick.
That is cool. Like, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it was like I mean, I say okay, so it's all it is targets set up in like basically a trail. So you hike a trail and then there's these targets set up. But these targets they have figures on them, and each figure has a different target inside of it. But it's naturally colored. So if you're shooting at like a pig or a turkey or a deer, right, and they're all in different positions. So if it's looking at you or looking away from you, right, and you shoot down like 60 yards or like there's like
Where is this place?
fucking like Rosemont,
Oh, that's
Park Reserve. But yeah, it's super cool. It's like frisbee golf or like golf, like it's like there's shots as in like holes or
yeah.
It's really
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, so me and Nick went and you use your binoculars.
Nick, Tony's brother.
Yeah,
Nick?
yeah.
Oh wow.
So you use the binoculars to like. It was his birthday when we went. It was a funny note. So you look at through the binoculars and you can like see what you're aiming at.
Right.
Because if you didn't use them, you couldn't see shit. You could see the outline, but you can't see like the kill zone, which is this black line that's pointing at, the areas where you're supposed to hit. There's different numbers for better positions. And then you're just aiming, down the ravine 60 yards. And, if you're aiming down or up, that's going to change some stuff. And there's branches, so you have to make sure you're not going to hit any branches. It's pretty sick.
Do you have to be, experienced to do this?
I mean,
Are you actually shooting
Yeah, I'm shooting. I hit the kill zone both times.
with your real bow?
With that bow, yeah. 60 yards, yeah. Fuck yeah. I measured it. I shot it. I was good. Good to go.
I guess I just don't understand
the learning curve.
What this is. I guess you take your bow, you take your arrows. Are you actually? Are you in a room inside?
No. Here, let me show you. It's outside. I have a video for you.
Yeah. See, this would be
so
more helpful for me.
Yeah. What I want you to do is scroll to the right, and then a video will begin. Yeah. And so you'll see me position.
Oh. Yeah, I get this.
And I'm aiming downhill. That's about a 30-foot down, and I'm aiming about 60 yards out. And I pop that thing into that target, and I hit it dead on.
Did you set up the target?
No, that's a course.
Okay.
So that's one of 20.
How many
28
shots?
28.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's probably the one of the coolest.
Is it like golf? So if I want to hit another ball, can I shoot another arrow?
Yeah.
I want to get that. This is
You
practice.
can shoot as many arrows as you want.
Okay, this is sweet.
Mm-hmm. And then let's say the funny thing is there's if you miss the target, which you have to be, in my opinion, bad to do that. But there's a stop sign that you could put over the target. So if somebody gets to the shot and you're out trying to find your arrow in the woods, they'll look at the stop sign and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to shoot an arrow down there and kill anybody because there's a stop sign that's up." So it's very sophisticated. It's not out in the middle of nowhere. And each pole, it says 60 yards. It shows you the yardage, almost like a golf
That's
course.
cool. 60's a long shot.
Fuck yeah.
For a fucking bow.
What's 60 times 3?
And so you're
180? 180 feet.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Almost 2 football fields.
I like the little. Who's taking the video?
That's Nick.
Oh, Nick took the video.
Yeah, I had a better video of him.
Does he have a cool bow?
Yeah, he's got a Matthews.
I won't pretend to know what that is.
It's cool. Yeah, he's
a
got a
good
better
bow.
bow than I do. Everyone's got a better bow than I do.
Yeah, you got
Amazon bow.
Amazon bow.
Yeah, the Rage doesn't even exist. If you looked for it now, it doesn't exist on the internet. I've tried to find my bow to point it out to people. I bought it off Amazon. When I scroll back to my recent orders, it doesn't exist anymore. It says I bought it, but there's no relevant product.
It's so cheap they stopped making it?
No, so it's from an Asian company.
It was too good.
So it's from, I believe,
It's probably COVID-19 bow,
Thailand.
dude.
As
soon as
I bought it
COVID's over,
before
they'll make the
no,
bow again.
so this is the thing. The spec.
They're just probably out of supply.
So going back to doing a whole bunch of research, right? So I did extensive research, and I figured out I needed a bow that basically could go to 70 pounds.
What's it called?
Specifically, SAS range.
SASRANGE.
No, rage.
Oh, rage, like rage.
Right. And you will see the new one, which is a Scorpio or something. But that bow only goes up to 45, so it's bullshit.
Yeah, that's not going to be.
It's like a kid's bow. So the SAS Rage,
Outrage.
Yeah, the Outrage is bullshit.
70-pound compound bow.
Oh, really? It goes up to 70? How much, though?
$150. $159.99.
That sounds about right. Let me see.
It's the first one. They still make it.
No, mine wasn't the Outrage, though. There's
Oh, it
something
was
wrong about this. This looks good, though, actually. So Southland Archery Supply is actually from Taiwan or some shit. And actually, this might be my bow. Fuck yeah, they make it again.
See, I just took a quick Google search.
All right, so shout out to the SAS Outrage 70-pound compound bow. I think it's $160. This looks exactly like my bow. So
I suppose if someone wanted to get into archery, that's not a bad price of point of entry.
It's going to go up to 70. You can set it as low as, I think it goes down to as low as 45 or whatever. So whatever. But it goes up to 70, which is important. 55 pounds is enough to
Do you shoot yours at 70 all the time?
Now I do. But 55 is enough to take down anything in North America. You don't have to go more than 55. It's just, we're just,
All right,
it's
so
ego.
I'm going to do a
It's
little
all
more
ego.
research. I might
No,
get
but
into
no. But
archery.
Southland Archery Supply is the bow is heavy. It's from, all the parts are great, but it's made in some factory that probably makes other equipment.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
just a Chinese bow.
Basically. But it works. At least mine does. So I'm not, they didn't have it, and mine
What's
wasn't
a high quality brand
Matthews
of
or Hoyt.
Yeah, if you have like a good Hoyt.
Matthews or Hoyt. I would suggest the or Bowtech is not bad either. Bowen has the Hoyt Power Max.
This is like guns.
Yeah.
You could talk about this
forever. I could talk about this forever.
Yeah.
The Hoyt Power Max is the what I would recommend if you were like, that's what Bowen has. It's about $500 for a Hoyt Power Max.
That's without all the pimping it out.
Well, I mean, so my bow, so if you get the SAS Outrage, like whatever, it's probably, basically it's going to come in a box. So if you don't know how to set it up, you're at a problem. So you need to go to a bow shop. And they'll set it up for you. And it'll work. They'll set it up for you. But you need a sight, you need a rest. There's a bunch of other shit you need to buy. So
yeah, I mean,
my
that's
suggestion, if you want to get into archery, go to a shop and they'll ask you, do you know how much you want to spend? Like, do you understand? And you say, like, I think it's going to be from anywhere from $500 to $800, and they'll say, great. So if you're willing to spend, if you really want to have everything dialed in and ready to go, but
where'd you go to have yours dialed in?
Schaefer's, that's my spot. That being said, I did a lot of trial and error. I spent a lot more money than I should have. I have a great bow. I wouldn't trade anything. But if I could go back and do it all again, obviously I've learned so much. If I could go back and do it all again, I would have saved so much money and had enough to actually buy something pretty cool in terms of a bow. Now, my bow, though, is like top of the line. Like, if we're talking a Ricer.
It's Amazon, though.
No. A Honda Civic.
I was going to say, he was going to go for the Honda Civic.
Yep, Honda Civic,
correlation.
500 horsepower fucking tank.
Right, okay.
Ricer, right? That's my bow.
Yeah, but for as much money as you made that to get that Honda there, you could have bought like a Corvette.
Not necessarily,
you know what I mean?
Because there's a lot of stuff that's not on that bow that I bought that didn't work, that I didn't know wasn't going to work.
You didn't know it was compatible?
Not necessarily. I bought things that
I don't know. Are bows like Legos? Are there compatibility issues?
So, for example, I have another sight on it. I have a different sight on it. I shoot a single pin adjustable now.
These bows are sweet.
The Hoyt ones are cool. Though I think I'm a Matthews guy. That's what Nick has. Matthews is just a little...
Get serious. Get Hoyt.
Yeah. Hoyts are... Cam Haynes is a Hoyt guy. A lot of people... PSC archery is also great, too.
What's the difference between a hunting compound bow and a target compound bow?
How much durability it has versus...
Like, which one's better? A target bow or a hunting bow?
Well, I'm not an expert, so I'm not trying to say anything, but typically a target bow would just have a long stabilizer and
these are cool as
is
fuck.
More balanced. Yeah, so those are just more they're more meant to...
They come in crazy colors too.
They're taller usually. They're less maneuverable. You're not going to sit in a
Yeah.
tree stand. You're not going to be able to maneuver very well. But they're very good at balance because they're target bows. They're not meant to move a lot. Then the stabilizers are usually like a couple feet long. So the thing that sticks out is like a huge long. It's very long. Maybe
Cool.
24 to 36 inches. And then a hunting compound bow, you just want to be able to maneuver with that. You're moving in between trees and stuff. So usually they're just a little shorter and a little more durable.
Well, that's cool. I learn a little bit about bows every time.
Yeah, it's
talk
cool, man.
about bows, and I feel like I'm a bow expert now.
But, you could spend $150 and get a recurve, and then you don't have to buy a sight or a rest. And a recurve bow is pretty cool, too. And that's just the Robin Hood bow. Those are pretty awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a stick and a piece of string.
It's a long bow. That's a long bow.
That's the
A
way
recurve has, like, limbs on it.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a ski, like how a ski's tipped at the end. So that's like a limb. So recurves are like the handle is like a big piece of wood, and then you drill in like these limbs that are good for different weights.
Okay.
So some bows you can like change out the limbs and make them stronger or weaker. So that's something to get into too.
Yeah, so I feel like if I were to actually do this, I'd need at least $1,000 to jump into this sport.
I disagree. I could get you in.
$1,000. Like I'm one of those guys
I
that
would talk to Josh.
I either want the best or don't do it.
Well, I would talk to Joff. I think Joff made the perfect decision.
How much is he in for?
You'd have to ask him.
Probably $500-600.
Well, no,
like
I
one of
don't
those
think so.
Hoyt bows. What am I looking at? Is that a $1,500 bow?
The Axiom is like $1,200 to $1,500.
Okay.
But you don't want that because all you'd get is a bow that's too
Yeah,
much.
I'd have to pimp it out after that.
No, it's a bow.
Soup it up.
It's a bow that's too much for you. You wouldn't know how to like shoot it the right way because it's too touchy for you. Okay?
Right.
You'd
I need a forgiving bow.
Yeah. Absolutely, just like golf
Something
clubs.
cheap, yes.
Not cheap.
Well, they're all, yeah.
Remember, the only thing we're doing when we get into super expensive bows is the cam technology and the weight to durability ratio.
I'll be honest, I don't need
That's
another
the
thing
expensive.
to spend money on right now.
I agree. It's a lot of time. You have to shoot every day. Mo got into it. He was about $400.
Is that for real?
in
You have
on
to
it.
shoot every day? Who's got time for that?
I do. I didn't shoot today, but every other day.
Huh.
You need to go 3 times a week.
And you do jujitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu 3 times a week. I probably shoot 3 times a week. So both things only like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But that's enough.
Is that like if you play golf, then you get better?
Yeah,
That's
if
not
you
always the
played golf
case.
3 times a week. Yeah, that would be
Probably.
committing time. Yeah. Yeah, I think Joff did the right way. And then
He did
like,
it after you, though, so he's got people to talk to. Like, once a friend of yours does it or something,
Yeah.
You can learn from all those mistakes.
Well, Bone introduced me to Schaefer's. See, I wouldn't have gotten into this if Bone wouldn't have dragged me into this.
So Bone is responsible for your archery addiction.
Yeah, and then thus Joff's, because I got Joff to. I was like, you have to go to the shop, you have to do this. And they actually rolled the red carpet out for him, which is why I think you should talk to Joff, because he did the right way. He went in, and he thought he wanted a Hoyt Power Max, because he did all the research, and I gave him some ideas. And he said, he figured out, he's like, okay, I don't want to have, basically there's 2 things. You can get like the Bear Archery bow, which is like the Amazon bow. There's a bow called Bear Archery, the company.
Yeah.
Totally recommend it. You could go to Cabela's or Dick's. They have Bear bows, right? Buy one. They're great. You know what I mean? It's a bow. It's going to work. I see guys on YouTube.
It's going to get you into the sport.
Yeah, man. I see guys on YouTube. They do it great. They kill animals, if that's what you're into. Or they hit bullseyes, if that's what you're into. It works, okay? You don't have to spend $1,200. That said, like Mo, he got a diamond edge, blah, blah, blah. It's going to work just great. He was all in like $350. His stabilizer's not that good. He got a badass rest on it. But his stabilizer, whatever. And he can just $20 here and there fix all those things.
Yeah.
Mo's set up. But once you get advanced, then it's like, oh, now we're talking about what can attach to the bow, these systems that are, if you buy Matthews has you hooked up. You can literally, it's like a BMW in terms of, if you have a BMW, we have all the parts, but you need BMW parts.
Right. Matthews is Apple.
Yes.
We're going to let you soup it up, but we're going to control the user experience.
But Hoyt's that way too. Because each bow is built, they're all different patents, just like car companies.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So each company, so Hoyt and Matthews are very much like that. So Joff is like, okay, if I get a Hoyt Power Max, the Power Max, you're going to have a great company. You can, good warranty. You can switch out parts. There's things that are made for this bow. Like Fuse Archery is basically like Hoyt's technology, which is like quivers, stabilizers. And those are like the best quality you can get.
Okay, so they come with a price tag as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. But like, hey, if you are ready and you want to make the right decision, you get a nice Honda Civic or a Mitsubishi Evo, and then you put money into it instead of getting the fucking Saturn and then racing that thing out.
Right.
Right. But hey, Kev has the riced out Saturn, and when he rolls up to the track,
$500, I'd be set.
yeah, I could get you in for $500 because that also includes a release, a sight.
Yeah, I want all the good shit. I mean,
Release,
I do this.
sight. Well, no, $20 release. Sight's a little more expensive. We can talk about that. Rest, I'd make you get this one, but we can get away with a Whisker Biscuit. And tell you the truth, I might just throw a Whisker Biscuit on yours because if you're not that serious, for example, unless you're willing, like you're probably not going to come out to the tree stand with us. And if you're not going to like come out to the tree stand or whatever we're doing or spot and stocking, you don't need anything more than a Whisker Biscuit. And like I said before, as
These
much
names
as
are hilarious.
I know,
Whisker Biscuit?
as much as I hate Whisker Biscuits,
They work.
I'll fucking you'll be fine. You'll fucking be fine. And if you actually get serious about it, we can take the Whisker Biscuit off. So my new thing, I used to say never get a Whisker Biscuit on your bow, you know, and I'm still about that. But now I think, you know what? Fuck it. Keep all that shit on it, and then once you get a little time behind you, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, I gotta like try this. I could like go and like hate it.
Well, see, this is the thing. You can't like shoot my bow. No, you could, and I'd like tell you how to do it. But when you pull it back, it's measured for me. So my
there's a draw,
length,
and it's all
and the eyepiece and all that. So Joff wanted to try my bow before he bought one, and I was like, it's not quite gonna work. And he's like, yeah, but I want to do it. I'm like, I get it. So and he's the only one I've ever let actually touch my bow other than me and actually drive back. So he did it, and it worked, and he understood it. But he's like, yeah, I can't really see. But then once we went to the shop, they let him try because he's like, hey, I think I want a Hoyt Power Max. Not to, and he can correct me if who knows, whatever. But he's like, hey, I think I've been doing some research. I think I want a Hoyt Power Max. And they're like, okay, that sounds great, but you've done a lot of research. At the archery shop here, we have a lot of options in your price range. If you aren't really sure what you're talking about because you're brand new to archery.
The reason you go and support a business like this is because you're not just buying a bow you're buying their support.
Right. And
from
it's
the
like,
shop.
And as professionals, and this guy, the guy that owns the place, he's a professional. I don't want to get into it, but he's a tournament champion, and he's pretty nuts. And he won it twice in a row. And that's like being perfect 2 years in a row. It's very hard to do that. Nobody's done that before.
This guy's legit. Who owns this bow shop?
Yeah, he's legit. And so, and he was there, and he was like, but he got my guy, the smaller guy, my guy, and we don't have to give names out, but he was the one that's like, here's the deal. We're going to get a bunch of bows for you. We're not going to tell you how much they cost. And you're going to shoot each one. And whatever one feels the best, if you don't like it, we'll just say no. If you like it, we'll keep going. And it's all about feel. And if after that process, you can ask how much it costs, and if you still want to do the Hoyt whatever, that's cool.
Did he do this? He went
Yes. So he went, and because he went in and he understood that it's going to cost some money. And they said, great. Because a lot of people walk in, they're like, oh, I'll take the bow. And it's like, yeah, but you need a sight, you need a release. Like, do you know that you can't shoot the bow with your fingers?
No. Once you buy the bow, it's just like a car.
Yeah, there's things
Just
you need.
soup it up.
Well, there's things you need. For a podcast, we need certain things. I could just turn on my iPhone and we could just record.
That would be lame.
Well, we could start that way.
Yeah.
But for us to be at this level, right?
We're at a high level, Kev.
I think so too.
On the podcast.
Going about learning. So I'm a big. So this is my thing is that I get way too immersed in things. Like I get obsessed, really nuts, and like
it's like me with my motorcycle or anything like that.
Yeah, 0 to 100. I'm a big 0 to 100 guy. Not driving, but like I like driving too, but I've just toned that down. But anyway,
the Seafoam Green Camry rips.
All of a sudden, I know we need mics. We have this. We have that. We have a camera. We're on YouTube. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. Right out of the gate. What are we? Episode 8?
We have all the platforms.
At episode 8?
Yes.
So my point is, like, I'm not gonna lay back and fuck around. On Sunday, it's podcast day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except for I was a little late today, but
no, we're all good.
We'll be good. By the way,
all good.
Tonight,
Mm-hmm.
Wild Hockey.
Wild Hockey. I'm wearing the hat.
We are getting excited.
Hockey's back.
Hockey's back.
Dude, did you see Taze scored the Blackhawks? I hate the Blackhawks. They scored 4 goals in the first period.
Everyone hates the Blackhawks.
4 goals in the first period, 2 of which was Taze.
Wow.
And this is what we're going to see in hockey and I'll be the first to admit, I know like nothing about hockey except for what my friends have taught me. And I love watching hockey. But
I know even less than that.
I'm not born in Minnesota, so I don't have that natural.
I wasn't born in Minnesota either.
Yeah, and
it's so funny how we're both from the East Coast.
These kids are like 2 or 3 years old, and they're they get on skates. It's a thing. So I didn't have that experience. So I was always like too slow, too short, too not hockey. They were y'all are way past me in terms of the hockey nonsense. But like when you're 13, these kids can skate, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard you have to commit a lot. You have to skate 3 times a week, going back to. So I'm not going to do that. So I didn't do that. But I get the A, B's, and C's of hockey. I think what we're going to see in this like abbreviated playoffs, which is
what do we only have, like 60 games? No, not even 40 games.
It's like a bracket style. Or no, yeah. There's a.
Wait a minute, is it playoff hockey tonight?
No, there's a abbreviated season and then playoffs. But going back to, there's going to be a.
Yeah.
So like the MLS is a bracket style, and the Loons are like already in the 8 seed or whatever the bullshit. So that's elimination. But in hockey, we're going to see a lot of teams like jump out to leads in terms of how many games they win that other teams just won't be able to catch up to because some teams are just going to have that jump. They're going to have players like Taze, some of these superstars.
I wonder what we're going to look like.
I think we have 2 things. We could be we're going to have a lot of young players that could be quick and a lot of people that might be able to take advantage and jump. Or we're going to not get it. It's going to be too much of we could get exposed.
This is going to be a very interesting. I think they start.
We're playing Vancouver, though.
They're playing right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
They're on right now.
By the time this comes out, you'll know the fucking
You'll know the final
outlook
score.
of the game anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I think we're going to see a lot of, that kind of stuff. So we're excited about hockey. But yeah, he shot every bow. He shot every single one basically in the shop, and they rolled out the red carpet for him. I thought it was really cool. They were excited because he understood.
Dude, yeah, they're excited. You're excited.
Well, just like you said, when a customer comes in and they've done their research, it's like, great, like we have an agreement. You're not going to, there's no magic here. You get it. Hey, you wanted a bow? You understand archery is going to take a couple bucks for you to get something that's going to last a while.
$500 probably, right?
Yeah, but that'll last you your lifetime. If you take
No
care
way.
Yeah. You have to buy strings.
Yeah, $500 is,
No, you buy strings. That's it.
I just think it could be a fun
And you buy arrows. That's it.
thing that gets me out.
Yeah, it's really fun. And it's free.
I need a hobbies and activities.
And it's free. Go to the archery range. It's free.
Is there one by my... Is it like Starling Lake have one or something?
Oh, yeah. Tony goes to the EP one all the time.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know that existed.
It's cool. I've never been there, but there's like flags. It's cool. It's like souped up.
Yeah, 'cause it's EP.
Yeah, that's true. But there's archery ranges everywhere, man.
Dude, it's like one of those things that you don't get to...
Nobody thinks about
You don't
that.
know or even look or know where these places are until, like, once I started playing Frisbee golf, I was like,
You start seeing them everywhere.
oh, my God. The Frisbee golf courses are all over the place.
Right. Exactly.
But it wasn't until I bought a disc that I thought, Actually, where I started
Disking
playing
is a
was
perfect
Chaska.
example. I think disking, Frisbee golf is a perfect, example for archery in terms of you buy what you need, but then the playing is free. Like if you have the gear, you can go anywhere.
Right. It's
And if you
really
have a
cheap
target,
once you get going.
Yeah, and guys, a bow
It's
isn't
the
that
exact
intimidating.
opposite of golf.
Like
real
if you're
golf.
in a big soccer field and if you're shooting in a direction that nobody's behind it, nobody's gonna come over and ask you what are you doing? It's like I'm shooting a bow and arrow into a target, dude. Do you know how many old people I see at parks? When I used to see doing this, I just didn't think about it. Because you see a weird guy shooting a bow. Now me with my 70-pound thing, I'm not gonna be next to a sidewalk. I'm gonna be at an archery range because there's archery ranges everywhere. But if you're learning and you have a kid or a 45-pound bow, you can go to some park, put a target out there, just make sure nobody's behind it, right?
Right, yeah, and just practice.
Because you're shooting down. When the target's lower than you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're shooting down. And if you go to the shop like Joff did, they'll give you pointers. They'll talk about, hey, put your elbow up, because you're nervous. You're trying to shoot a bow inside. People are watching you. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, hey, relax. Pull your elbow up. Is that too hard? They'll say hey, is this up? They'll sight it in for you. He tried every bow, and all of a sudden they're like, how's that feel? He's like, I like the first one better. He's like, great, then we'll just toss this one away. And they did this whole thing. They started with maybe 6 or 8
So what did
bows.
he end up with?
He ended up with a Matthews VRX, one of the two, maybe a VRT. I need to look, but it was he.
How much was that
picked-
bad boy?
Basically, he ended up. There was 2 bows. He kept leaning toward the Power Max, but he ended up liking the Matthews. But he thought the Matthews was going to be super, super, super expensive, and then he picked this other Matthews, and they were like, "Well, the bow you picked is $1,100, I think." And he can correct me, but I think he picked the brand new Axiom.
Oh, okay.
Or no, the Axiom's white. I think he picked the brand new. I think it's called the VRX. I think that's the brand new. Awesome Matthews, and they're it makes sense why this one feels the best because it's
Yeah, it's $1,100. It
Right.
better be fucking sweet.
without anything on it, just $1,100 for the bow, right?
Right, yeah. Then you got $500-$600 in accessories
No,
probably.
it depends what you want to do. It would probably cost if you do it my way, it's gonna be $300. If you do it I'll leave the whisker biscuit on there for you, $60.
Okay.
We can get you out of there with $60 and just to get it so we could go to the range and you can shoot.
just so I
feel
can use
comfortable.
it.
Yeah. So
I
you
mean,
can
this
use
is
it and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But going back to the nonsense, so they said, okay, so you picked the super nuts one, but he also had picked another one that he really was comparing all the other bows to, that he kept going back to this one. And so he said, and so he was like, well, I like the Power Max. And they're like, well, you liked this one too. And he's like, yeah, I really did like that one. And I think that was the VRM, the Matthews VRM, which is the Power Max of Matthews. It's the forgiveness bow. And then he compared that to the Hoyt, and he's like, no, yeah, I do like this one. So he got the $349 Matthews.
Okay, that's not bad.
No. And that bow, so sick. I'm so jealous of it in a good way. I'm not jealous because I have a fucking sick bow that I can shoot very well. And again, I wouldn't trade anything I've done because I've grown with that bow. So now me and the bow,
You are one.
we have an agreement. Now the bow knows that like one day, it's going.
Yeah,
on
are
the
you just
wall.
gonna run that thing for like 5 years and then get a
Maybe,
different
yeah.
one?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like 5 years. Yeah.
See, would you launch that bow? Is bow like, I'm gonna collect bows. I'm gonna get a new one.
No.
I'm not gonna get rid of my old one.
No, so really it's just.
Or do like,
So we're.
are you gonna sell that one?
I would like give that one to somebody if I like needed to, or I'd keep it as a backup. So this is what I would do.
See,
Honest to goodness, if I got the, honest to God, that's gonna be kind of like that's my bow. If I ever got a new bow, the only reason
that one would not.
if I got a new bow, that would definitely take all my practice because now we have to get used to a new bow. Blah 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 blah. I'd spend a lot of time. I'd probably spend a lot of money because it's like if I'm gonna buy this bow, it's the lifetime bow that's gonna feel perfect.
Yeah, you're gonna spend the
everything.
money.
But you have to understand, technology changes. We're at a kind of max tech, but we don't know what to predict in the future. But like, there's not much more we can do. Like, we got some good fucking shit now,
Yeah, it's a bow and arrow. This is
Well,
some
like
basic shit.
our rests, and when we're talking about like making an arrow fly, like that thing's good. It's top of the line. So the new bow, if I got one, the whole thing would be like weight, feel, etc., etc., etc. That would be primarily for hunting, right?
Right.
So if I was like gonna kick it, I would take that bow with me.
Sure.
Because that bow, I would have a feel for it. I could go anywhere. If I was traveling even,
Oh yeah.
I might take that bow.
You want the one that you know if you're gonna go travel.
But if I got the new bow, then I would just dedicate all my time to that bow.
Yep, you'd learn
until
it.
I was
You'd probably learn it in
comfortable.
like a week, Kev.
And then that just becomes the backup bow.
Yeah, it could be the backup. Well, should we name the show?
We could, but then we never tell people. Are we almost done?
I don't know. We just been just hanging out.
We have half an hour.
Half an hour left. Yeah. All right. We can name the show, play a game.
The headphones.
We'll keep an eye on that.
Do you see how the battery is low again?
Did we already cook through another battery on this
Well,
thing?
we can plug it in. So the thing that the camera's plugged into, it's
Do
I'll
we have to pick one or the other? We don't have a power supply for both?
if you have one of these cords, which I can show you after the podcast, then we could just plug that one into that one and then have one for this, and then we don't have to worry about batteries anymore.
Huge upgrade.
So that we can think about that for next podcast. Here, I'll write it down.
Write it down. Pimpin' the podcast. We ditch the batteries. There
Yeah,
we
I
go.
can talk about Archie all day.
Dude, archery sounds like a really fun sport.
It's fun because you have to, as I was telling my parents this, like your brain braces for impact.
It's a sport, and you can, like, go hunt.
Yeah. It's cyclical, just like jiu-jitsu. It's a sport, but you can defend yourself, It's got a practical.
That's cool that you started doing that.
It's got a
These
practical
things, like,
use.
you got into them.
Yeah.
Like, it's like me in motorsports. Like, you got into it, and you, like, stick with it.
Yeah, see, that's going back to the learning curve thing. Like me and Tony. Okay.
Some people, like, I could buy
climbing.
a bow and shoot it once. Mo shot it like 10 times, and then he hasn't.
Well, there's no archery range that's like near him, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I have
that
archery
sucks.
range literally 2 minutes away from me.
But you go, like, every other day.
because it's 2 minutes away from me.
Yeah.
But I'll go to Archer Park. That's in Burnsville. It's just a little. And Mo fucked his car, so he doesn't.
Yeah, I
guess he's
heard
got
about
a loaner,
that.
but he doesn't want to.
I heard about that.
Wasn't his fault. I got axled. Some guy was U-turning or something like that.
Jesus.
That said,
Fucking drivers.
going back to the
Unbelievable.
going back to the learning curve thing. It's like me and Rick talked about this when we were.
I haven't seen Rick in like a year.
I just saw him at Prize. I
Nice.
said what up to him. His hair was looking very nice.
The flow.
He's got major flow. It's like a lion's mane.
Anyway.
Or a baboon's mane. Or a sloth's mane. I think like a sloth mane. It's more that color too, that like silvery brown. So we were talking back in the boulder days. So we were bouldering, and that's almost like rock climbing, but no harness. And me and Rick like went a lot. and Spence was there too, obviously. But
Yeah, you guys got into.
Yeah, them definitely more than me in terms of they really studied and appreciated it, But I like to think I was behind them. I was right behind.
Do you have
them.
your own harness and stuff?
No, we didn't need that. So bouldering, you just need a bag of chalk and some shoes. But we had good shoes, we had chalk bags, and we took time to learn. We did challenged ourselves. That's what I'll say. We challenged ourselves. So Rick was reading through this stuff, and it's basically all these people online that are trying to boulder. They're taking 6 months to do oranges, and we were what
are the colors? I don't.
I could go through all of them, but long story short, there's a progression of colors, and in bouldering, each color is designated to a difficulty. So there's basically purples and oranges are my level. I'm confident.
Is it the middle, the low, the high?
Middle.
Okay.
In my opinion, it would be intermediate. You can do purples, and then blues is I think if you're on blue, you're at advanced. You're pretty. You're.
Is it the color of the grab hold?
Yes. So if you're doing blue, you can. Your body is. You're not an average person. You look like you could. You climb mountains. If you're doing blues, it takes a lot of body control
to get to blues.
Right. Orange.
What's beginning?
Red and yellow.
I'd be on red and yellow all day.
Yeah, but those are cool. Green is very cool. We did a lot of greens, but what we would read these things, and luckily we had MPB, which is the place we went, which is a very cool place. Not a lot of people have places like that where you can really get advanced quickly, But
it's a great place to practice.
Yeah, exactly. And we would practice a lot, right?
Yeah.
Thus, we advanced quickly.
It's next to a nondescript brewing house.
Where we hung out, But we advanced quickly because of that, right?
Yeah.
So, with archery, I took it seriously. So I advanced quickly. So that video, I posted on Instagram some, I hate posting stuff, but I did post something a long time ago, and I shot, it was 40 yards at my bullshit target. And looking at that today, it's so embarrassing. But I was I think I said 2 weeks in the post, or 2 months in, something like that. And I was oh, I had two.
Looking back on that now, you're what the fuck?
Well, it doesn't matter. My growth, personally, I almost wanted to post that picture of the 60-yard all the way down, but you can't see the kill shot clearly, right? And that was a perfect, that hit inside the kill zone, and that was the better of the two arrows. I'd one outside the lungs and one that was right in the heart. And
is there a shape of an animal? What do you?
Yep, it's a deer, and then inside the deer there's zone of where the internals are.
Oh yeah.
And so with your binoculars, you can see the target that kind of says, "Hey, here's a 14, here's 10, here's 12." So you're aiming 6. So you can't, when you're drawing the bow, you can't see that. So that's where the mental comes in. That's where the zen of the arrow is going to hit the target comes in.
The zen.
Right. Because guys, when you're 60 yards away, aiming at
60 yards is far.
180 feet, right?
Yeah, that's far.
So when you're 180 feet away and the target is that far away, but also 30 feet down.
Are you going to be hunting at that range ever?
Never. Maybe in a couple
you can sneak
maybe
up
10
closer
years.
to them, right?
Fuck yeah. The goal is to be 20 yards away. The closer I could be, the better. You want to be so close that it's 100%. I don't want to take no bullshit chances. That's just fun. Sending an arrow that far and aiming at a spot, that's just a test of will.
Right.
Because like you said, like people miss the target because they're bad. Me, I've taken great lengths of research, and I talked to you about the Mount Rushmore, John Dudley, Cam Haynes, Joel Turner.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to throw Levi Morgan as number 4 on there. In terms of, those were my guys that I spent a lot of time listening and trying to practice the right everything,
Technique.
Yes. And because it's a it's not the stronger person can pull the bow back and then he can shoot the target better,
The bow does the work.
Yes, it's technique oriented, and that's mental. It's 100% mental in terms of
shooting.
You have to hold that target there, and remember it moves. You're
way more involved.
My left hand isn't steady.
Shooting a
Nobody's left hand is super steady. There's always that little. So how do you make it? And it's all because your eye.
Is it like you're breathing? You're like.
Yeah, I have a whole thing. I've got a mantra. I'm embarrassed to say it, but that's the only way to make it. To represent it
every time, the same thing.
Yeah.
Repetition.
Yeah. It's the only way to represent what I do the best is to say I have a mantra when I shoot. That's the only way to represent it the best.
Huh.
which helped me my golf game a lot. I still suck at golf, but it helped me the mind game of golf a lot.
I'm bad at golf.
Yeah, 'cause the mind thing, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're drinking on the golf course, or like, you know, it just takes you out of that zone. And to be good at golf, the goal is
you
to be
really
focused.
have to be dialed.
No, you want to be focused, you know. And if you get good at golf, where you can like hit the ball well and you get that muscle memory, then you can start being a little lackadaisical. But if you're trying to play good golf, you have to be focused. Like if you're trying to,
Totally.
yeah. So
you know, that's one thing, like, we were talking about archery, like, the initial investment, and then it's free. Golf is the initial investment's, like, for a good set of clubs, you know, $1,000, and then
maybe like
it gets
600.
more expensive.
Well, you have to pay your, you know, you need a lot in terms of like, I mean, you need real estate, you know.
Oh, yeah, to, like, make golf happen.
You need
it
a
costs money, yeah.
For archery, what's great, for some reason, the park association, it's just
They
it's built
support
into,
archery. I'm
yeah,
like
it's a Teddy Roosevelt
kind
thing.
of blown away a little bit by that. Like, I
It's
wouldn't
part of the
think that.
DNA.
There's not just like a little, you have to pay $10 to go shoot or whatever.
No, it's part of the DNA
It's
of our
totally
country.
free.
Now the 3D archery place that's set up, because I told you it's something nice joints.
Yeah, does that
it's
cost money?
$6.
Oh, that's cheap.
But you can get like a $35 season pass. So
How long does it take to do this course?
it's 28 shots. We were there for 2 hours and we skipped half of it and skipped a couple.
So you're talking about 3 or 4 hours of shooting.
There's 1 through 14 is kind of like an alley. So there's just a bunch of like shorter shots. So if you're like a kid, I'd be like, you're on the 1 through 14 course. Like if you came with, you're not coming with me on the back. That shot, you're not taking that shot.
No, I'm not.
Because you're
going
gonna
to
lose an arrow, you know. And nobody
How much are arrows though? Like,
expensive because you got to tune the arrow for the bow.
oh, we could talk about arrows probably for like 20 minutes.
No, arrows are everything.
Carbon fiber arrows.
Tom, the
that
bow.
would blow if
I've
you
been
broke
talking
one or
about the
lost
bow
one.
for how long? The bow is nothing. If you can eject an arrow, that's what we need. Now we talk about the arrow. Everything is the arrow. Bow.
Everything is in the arrow.
The bow? I know we spent all that time talking about bows, but all the bow does, it's like a trebuchet. It is the mechanism that launches the arrow. Whatever that mechanism is, great. That's step 1. You have launch.
You know what's
But
interesting?
guess
is
what?
like
The projectile is everything.
when it comes to like
Archery, all about the arrow.
gun
Anyway, I'm done.
ammunition
Yeah.
to archery arrows.
Right.
Like gun ammunition doesn't the brand doesn't matter that much.
No, the thing
arrow is
everything.
way more.
and
Everything.
but it's also reusable. It is the projectile.
That's true.
So everything from the weight of the broadhead or field point to the fletchings to the aerodynamics, because it's all physics at that point.
I don't know if I'm ready to make the jump into this sport.
Well, with the everything is taken care of when you, let's say, go into it the right way. Like Joff knew he was going to spend a couple bucks, but they also said we're going to take care of everything. So you can do it that way. Me, I ordered everything.
You had to build it?
I went to them and I said, "Hey, here's all the gear I got. Can you build this for me?" And he basically looked at it. The same guy that helped Joff helped me, and they love me. He gave me a hat. The guy that owns the joint, me and him have I like the guy a lot, and he gave me a hat because I was repping. So
that's awesome.
He's just I appreciate.
You're
him.
do they kind of look at you like this is an Amazon bow?
Yeah, that's what they looked at right when I walked in. He was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "It's an SAS bow," and he obviously never heard the brand. I didn't blame him. The guys that I was reading on the forum were like, "We've never really heard of this, but it's from Asia,
pretty good,
and it passes the bullshit test. It works, you know." So I bring it to him, and then this was the best. He because I said, "Hey, I got a brand new bow in the mail, and I needed to be set up, and then I need some gear." And I told him what I needed, and he's like, "Okay," knows what he's talking about. I said, "I need a D loop. I need this set up." And he goes, "You know the setup fee is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Because Tony,
how much do they charge?
$100 for the setup fee.
Well, what if you buy the stuff from them?
No setup fee. So
right,
Joff,
that's how they get you.
well, Joff, $100 off because there's no setup fee because you bought the bow from them. Me,
Right.
150, but 100. I think I spent $129 on my bow only. So the SAS Rage, not the SAS Outrage. The SAS Rage was $130. I almost guarantee it.
It was not $159.
It wasn't $160. I would have got something else. I promise. Because I was not trying to go $160 all in with archery at that point. I was like $120.
What were you thinking? Like, I wanted to
I
try a
was
new
thinking,
sport,
yeah.
keep it under 100.
Tony was like, dude, I'm having a blast. I was listening to a lot of folks. I really like what Cam Hanes stands for. I really like John Dudley's story. And there's a
Cam
big,
Hanes, isn't he the hunter guy on YouTube?
yeah. Keep
What's
hammering.
the show?
Keep hammering. He was on Sportsman Channel. He doesn't really have a show. Under Armour sponsors him though.
Yeah, but what's the show that you were showing me? It's on YouTube. He makes
Meat Eater?
videos.
That's
Meat
Steve
Eater, yeah.
Rinella.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not an archery guy. He does one bow hunting thing with Joe Rogan, the first episode of Meat Eater on Netflix, but that's it. And
That's a cool show.
yeah, Meat Eater's a great show. I think Meat Eater is great if you want to learn, if you want to if you want to eat meat and you
gotta understand.
Yeah, if you want to eat meat, you just want to understand. I think that's a great show to kind of introduce you to like everything. They go fishing in Alaska, like it's all different. It's not just hunting animals like ungulates. It's fishing, conservation. There's a lot more that goes into it, and you see the full cycle from hunting the animal in the beginning, preparing, all the way through the process to the end, and the respect you have to give the animal. You have to clean that thing up. Once the animal's dead, you got to harvest that animal.
Right.
That's let's call it the hard part. And then all the way through to the eating, which is the best part, which is you're bringing the life into you. You're giving that respect. It's becoming you. It is you. That's a lot of respect that you have to give to it. It's a mutual thing.
So like, I don't deer hunt or anything.
Right.
So if you like go and like get a deer, do you like know what to do?
Yes, but
You don't want
it
to
would
be
my
like, you
first
don't want to
time.
like go drop a deer and like, now let me get out the manual so that I can read up on what I need to do now.
No. So so that was a big moment for me. So going through all this stuff, like I also had to come to terms with.
Wait, can you just bring it to a meat shop and they'll do it for you too?
Yeah. So this is the thing.
That's what a lot of people do, I think.
In Minnesota, going back to the chronic wasting disease, right? I'm still unsure if you can quarter a deer in Minnesota. I want to say no. I am 100% sure you can gut the deer because you can't bring all that to the butcher. It's not gonna everything's gonna rot. So I know you can gut the deer and remove like the anus. You cut out the anus, and that was a whole step for me. I had to see this done. I went on YouTube and I said, hey, how do you field dress an animal? I started with turkeys. So I figured out how to field dress a turkey because I was going after turkeys. And then when that season kind of passed and I realized like, okay, my next opportunity.
Did you get a turkey this year?
No, I didn't even go out because I couldn't camp. That's a whole thing. But that's just an excuse. I could have done
You could have
some
made
work.
it work.
Yeah, I have a blind. I'm ready to go. But I think I want to run and gun one.
Run and gun? Don't you just call them in and then blow them away on the ground?
That's what run and gunning is technically you call them in. A blind is you just sit there and wait. Running and
So
gunning
boring.
is you
Why do
call.
people into this?
Well, that's the old school way. The old school way of hunting is sitting on a spot until something comes by and then you blast it. The new school way is, are you kind of athletic? Can you hike a little bit? Can you carry some stuff on your back? Try to get as close to that animal as possible with a bow if you want to be real athletic about it, and then try to take that thing down. Now,
What's your
smells
kill
you,
range?
you're
40
fucked.
yards?
I have no idea. I've never tried.
Like when you're bow hunting for like a deer.
I feel really confident at 40 and under. Ethically, I'd really want to be like 20.
Right.
I'd want to be 60 feet away or closer. And that would make me feel good. If I could be like honest to God, 40 or 50 feet away.
You would take the shot.
Yeah, if I could be like 15 or 20 yards away, money.
Are we coming up on deer season?
September.
Ooh, you gonna go?
Yep, opening weekend. Bona would be with me.
You and Bone?
If Nick wants to come, he can. Hopefully we don't smell too much.
Don't you have like the scent killer shit or something?
We'll probably try that. But at the end of the day, it's an animal. It's a wild animal, and it's meant to detect you because hunting pressure. That's what they've evolved in the last 100 years. We've been hunting.
Yeah, you already got a spot, right?
I've got a couple places picked out, but yeah, my one spot, yeah, I'm pretty committed to it.
Well, rock and roll. Hopefully you guys get one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna quit.
You know, if you would have asked me like 10 years ago, like, what are we into now? Like, Kevin's into deer hunting. I would have been like, you've got to be
crazy,
fucking
right?
kidding me, right?
But see, it's not the last thing on my mind is like going out and trying to like hurt an animal. Everything on my mind is about like a good shot, and like I don't think I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get close because it's gonna smell me. Like, I'm gonna have to learn how to be very like ninja-like to earn that.
Well, yeah, you got to work the wind and shit too.
Yeah,
You got to be an outdoorsman, Kev.
Yeah, I gotta graduate to a new level here, bro. I gotta be like a ninja in the woods, where like I'm not the alpha. I'm the alpha predator, but like it's out of my element, you know. And I've been watching a lot of shit. Going back to the field dressing thing. Will
But
I know
just
what to
sitting
do?
in a deer stand.
Like I've got to. I don't want to. I want to stalk. Anyway, so I have a kill kit, and like I sharpened my knife. I tested the sharpness, because that's the one thing people don't have sharp knives, and that's a big
That's a problem.
no. So I got my kill kit. I got some things. Got some bags. If it happened, I think I could do ABC. Would it be a good job? I don't think so. I'd really want somebody there with me. You know.
That knows what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, hey, for all you listening in the world, if you know how to field dress a deer and you're pretty good at it, and you want to take me out, I'm ready. Help me out.
It's got to be someone out there with their numbers being so high right now.
Oh yeah, the numbers are up.
They are up.
Yeah, and you can reach us at phonyexpressshow@gmail.com. Don't
Phony
send us
Express Show
anything.
at gmail.com.
Blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Don't send us anything.
Don't send us anything unless you want to field dress a deer.
So, are you going to address the mic situation this week? You're going to go to the nondescript department store and see if you can pick up
Are you gonna buy another
one
splitter?
more?
I'll buy one more.
I already
we don't
bought.
need a
I bought the
splitter.
5-way.
Oh,
It's on the way.
yeah, but we need we don't need a fourth mic for a while. We
No.
can do the 3 mic.
No, 3
Yeah.
mics are fine.
Because we already have the windscreen for the third mic too. Technically, we have a third mic already.
Yeah, we already have it. I think there's an SM58 around here somewhere.
It's right there.
Oh, there it is.
It's just not good when you plug it in.
No, apparently not. These
It works, but
and we
it's
have
not
fresh
good
pop
like
filters,
this. Windscreen.
fresh wind screens.
Yeah,
Good thing I bought the 5-pack. Remember that?
yeah.
I was only gonna buy one.
I
Why would I do that?
I wonder if the intro makes the mics quieter, because it says like recording volume 100. You know,
Okay.
but you know how loud it is. I wonder if that like gauges it, and then when we get on the mic, then we're quieter. Do you think?
That is above my technical.
Do we sound louder when we test than after? the
Gosh,
theme
I don't
song?
know.
Think about that next time. If we sound louder when we test right before we kick it off.
I feel like we do. Well,
Right?
what would change the level? What would?
The amount of volume that's coming through the speaker, and this thing's wise enough to change whatever.
Oh, really?
So what I'm saying is maybe the theme song we put,
It's a banger.
Insert.
We can't.
we can insert it like at the beginning. Like we could play it, and then we could just keep the speaker out so we could hear it, but I could like insert it at the beginning of the podcast. Like actually insert the
Okay.
clip.
I
and
don't.
then
I don't know.
We would do this on screen, and then I would know to,
Oh, then I can cue it.
and then the podcast would start.
We could try something. We're open to try new things.
Would we do, like you would do this?
Yeah,
And
you
I
just
would-
need a sound.
and I
something
would-
that you can match
and
the
I would
volume.
press record, and then we'd be good to go.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
I like it.
The
We can try
camera-
it once. We'll
the
try
cam-
maybe episode 9.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll give that a try, and then what do you got there?
There's 7 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, did we already name the show?
No, we haven't named the show yet.
Archery, archery, archery.
We did go through a lot of
Bob gets into learning
Oh.
about archery.
that. All right, I got a list for you.
Okay, shoot.
I had underrated Brendan Fraser movies.
Okay.
And none of these are surprise, and I want you to keep adding to it, but I had some thoughts about like all these Brendan Fraser movies like in the 90s, cuz Nicolas Cage is a workhorse, but Brendan Fraser like was a workhorse,
Dude.
you know?
Nicolas Cage turned out flicks.
Yeah.
He had like a new movie every year.
Multiple. That's what's so amazing about it.
He just cranked out those. It's because he was going broke.
Yeah, but I'm a big bring back Brendan Fraser guy, cuz I think he's broke too or something like that.
Is he broke?
I don't know. We can look it up later. But Dudley Do-Right right off the bat. You ever seen that
Never
movie?
saw that one.
Are you serious?
dead serious?
Canadian Mountie.
Um,
And what's his name? Is it John Lithgow? No, fuck John Lithgow. It's what's his name from Monty Python? Is the
ooh.
he's like the sensei in the TP that teaches him like how to be spiritual, and it's a very big joke, but it's hilarious. He does a great job. Forget his name. Maybe
Dudley
Nigel.
Do. I think I did see that movie.
Dudley Do-Right's great. It really
I think
is.
I did see it.
It's a good movie.
All right, what's the next
It's
one?
trash, because it's Dudley Do Right, but it's pretty great. You know, underrated. George of the Jungle, 1 and 2. Now I can't say 2 was good because it was not.
George of the Jungle is awesome.
But George of the Jungle 1 was not bad. He was
No.
just kind of a dumb person, and it was kind of funny.
I know exactly who you're talking about now.
Yeah. He had the long hair.
That was perfect. Yeah.
And
That
I
was-
loved like the jungle parts were awesome. you
It's
know?
like Tarzan but real.
Yeah. Well, it's based on a cartoon. And then Jane, George has
George of
Jane.
the Jungle.
He's got the girl that he's always he's always trying to get the girl.
Yeah.
The Scout. With
Never heard of it.
Al Brooks is the other
Mel Brooks?
Al.
Al Brooks.
Yeah, he is the Scout, and he goes to Mexico and he finds a pitcher, Brendan Fraser,
If somebody's out there that has,
who
you know,
pitches like 100 miles per hour.
that's heard of these movies, I've never heard of like
The
most.
Scout is great. Yeah. So Al Brooks goes
What
down
year,
to
Kev?
90 something. Goes down to Mexico or maybe Dominican Republic, but he's basically punished. He works for the Yankees, and he's punished because I don't know, he gave him Oh yeah, he found some 18-year-old in Texas,
Okay.
and the kid's really good, and he like vouches for him. So
To play for the Yankees?
right. So he goes in, he's like 18, and then he just chokes, and he just like can't pitch anymore, and like
No.
psychologically breaks down. So like they basically wasted all this money on this kid. So they send him down to Mexico or something to like look at like 7 hexagonal A division baseball, like 7 A's in a row division baseball.
He's in the way deep minors.
Yeah, we're like in the 7th inning stretch. They bring like the mules across to like clean up the garbage and the grass, like cut the grass.
That's
and stuff.
great. That's great.
So he's down there and he's like, obviously wasting his time. But then there's this kid that pitches 100 miles per hour and like everybody loves him, and he's just like the guy. He's Brendan Fraser. So he's like, hey, you should pitch for the Yankees because you're amazing. And then this guy's got like some mental issues. It's a pretty cool movie. So he has to deal with those. And long story short, it's
Sounds like a movie that I might actually tune in to watch.
yeah, it's a good movie. He gets his opportunity to pitch for the Yankees. You can
The
see what
Scout.
happens. The Scout. It's a great movie. So he has to, go to New York and like live with the Scout because he doesn't have any.
Do you know what
parents.
my favorite baseball movie was of the
Hmm.
90s?
Hmm.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, not bad, but
Rookie of the Year is fire.
Scout's better.
Dude,
Major
Brigma,
League,
Brigma, the pitching coach.
Major League is also better.
You got to get the seeds. I love that movie.
What
Brigma.
was the one where the kid's arm?
Yeah.
Or
he
that's
broke his
yeah,
arm, and then it's
Rookie of
like
the
he
Year,
can
yeah.
pitch like a $140.
Right.
You
And they
know?
can just do
And he
whatever.
makes it, he gets to be on the Cubs,
Right.
where he meets Brigma, the pitching coach.
Yeah, I gotcha. The Cubs.
His idols on the team, too, the Rocket.
Mm-hmm. Oh, The Mummy, obviously.
Never seen it.
What?
Dead serious.
Omar would be so disappointed.
I
in you.
probably would be.
How's the kebab? That's Scorpion King, but.
Yeah, never seen The Mummy.
Hey, Benny! You're on the wrong side of the river! Hey, O'Connell, it looks like I've got all the horses!
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And Rachel Weisz is a very pretty woman.
What's the actor's name again, Kev?
Not as pretty as Diane Kruger, but Rachel Weisz. She's actually an amazing actress.
I need to see more movies.
We got to get your game up. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
what the fuck? Like,
Well, when you're at Proving Grounds, tripping over logs, don't have time.
yeah,
to
it's
watch
not Proving
movies.
Grounds. There's Power Cruise.
Oh, Power Cruise. Yeah, well, there was some Power Cruise.
Cruise.
Definitely
It's
cruising
a
on
blast.
some powers. Yeah, you
Dude,
know
that
what to get
Coleman rips. It's sketchy fast.
fun. Yeah. Yo, my sister's getting a Grom.
What? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I told her. I said, Tom's gonna.
Oh
be
my
proud.
gosh, tell her I'm stoked for her.
Well, so she was like, I want to get blah blah blah, and like I don't want a scooter, but I want this license. And
Yeah.
she's like, I need this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, oh, you want a Grom? And she goes, that's what I'm getting. And I'm like, yeah, I knew what you're talking about.
Yeah, you want a Grom.
Yeah,
They're
because she was like,
fucking.
she was
Should
basically
go
like,
Grom around Chicago.
yeah,
Rip that thing around.
fuck yeah,
That's awesome.
and it's gonna handle.
Yeah, they're great little
Yeah,
bikes.
Groms are
They go
sick.
60 miles an hour.
I know. I'd love to get a Grom.
Totally. You could rip it all over
Yeah,
Minneapolis.
it's the perfect Lake Minnehaha
Totally.
or Minnehaha Creek cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was talking about, I wanted that stupid bike, and then you said you need a Grom. You're right,
Yeah.
but that little power bike would still be fun too if you could find one for like $100.
No, get a Grom.
I wonder if I could build one.
You could buy. So Haley's Ninja 250.
Yeah, but I heard it doesn't really work.
We'll have to, upon further inspection, we'll
How much though?
I don't know.
It's a decent penny. She's
I
not
don't
getting
know.
rid of that.
I know.
The Coleman is cheaper than the Ninja. You'd have to buy the Ninja for like yourself, and then work on it.
I already have a bike though. I'm good.
Yeah, you don't need to spend that money. You're buying a bow. Remember?
I want the Ninja though. It doesn't matter. It's not even in town. When the bike gets to town, then
Yeah.
we'll revisit that.
But if anybody wanted to get an archery, I'd recommend actually not doing the Amazon way, 'cause I had to like literally give the Amazon bow to the guy, and he looked at it and he was like, "Okay, this will work." And then he built it. He was like, "Okay, it's gonna work." I would just go bear archery, honestly.
I love how he just like he kind of
Or,
gave you that face.
He did.
You know, like all right.
But then once it all hooked up, and he was like, "Okay," and then we tuned some arrows, and he put me up to 55 pounds.
But he was like, "Wow, I can't believe this thing's for real."
He was proud. He was like, "You know what? You did good." He was like, "You did good, kid. You're paying us $100 setup fee, so I'm gonna set your bow up." And he was like, "It's working." And I bought some arrows, so he was like, "Good." And those were my bronze label. And then and then I retuned and got some new arrows. And when I went in, I tuned it up at 70, so I increased. So we had to do new arrows at 70 pounds.
New arrows.
But now I want to get another tune with some broadheads, so I kind of want up to 150.
Wait, you can
grain.
change the tune on your bow?
The arrows need to be tuned for your bow. Each person shoots a bow differently. So my bow, if you shot my bow and if I shot my bow, not only are the draw weights different, let's pretend I could change the draw weight and I could, but let's just pretend we had two of my bow and it was the exact same, which is hard to do. But let's just pretend we had two of the identical bows, one for you, one for me.
Okay.
You're going to shoot it differently than me, period.
Of course, 'cause I'm a different length arms and shit.
Yeah, but let's pretend we were like proportionate. Your
Okay.
style would just be different. You'd shoot it differently.
Everyone just does their own thing.
Yeah. Now fast forward, or pardon me, rewind to what you said. You're right. You're longer. So
Is
your
there a
arrow,
correct way to do it? Like a technique, right? There's like a
if you're aiming at, let's pretend that you shoot 6 arrows and they all go into one spot. Whatever you're doing, it's right. Consistency is correct.
it's like golf.
Yep, it's like everything. When you look at the best archers in the world, they're all shapes and
Is
sizes.
it easier to get good at than golf?
Yeah, I think so.
It's way easier to get good at archery.
Way
than
more
it is to-
intuitive. Well, way more intuitive. I think it's in your DNA. And you're holding something and then releasing a projectile. In golf, you have to. It's arc. There's no arc in archery. You're holding potential energy and then you're letting it go.
Right.
It's a little different.
As long as it's easier to get than golf, then
Golf as a whole, it's a big.
golf's frustrating.
Well, and there's
I'll
a
be
lot.
honest.
And there's a lot that goes into that. There's the real estate. You're paying money. You're dressed up in all these clothes. There's a ritual. All these people have turns. You're with a bunch of people. They're looking at you. There's a lot more layers that go into archery. Just can be alone. My whole advice: if you want to go golf, you have to golf alone and golf often.
Common Man golfs alone, doesn't he?
Yeah, 'cause he wakes up super early and goes out.
Hmm.
Now you could also be a single, but then you gotta wait for these guys, and then the layers come back with people looking at you and that kind of shit. But if you want to get into archery, I'd recommend just like
I might be trying.
you get a bear archery. I wouldn't get something that has like all the gear. When they say like, oh, this pack includes like all this stuff, all that stuff's garbage.
I really want to buy a gun too.
Yeah, get your permit to carry. I would recommend, not your permit to
Yeah, I
purchase.
gotta like get the
because-
papers and go to you have to go to the police station.
Well, so if you want your permit to carry, you have to take a class.
I don't need the carry. I just want to like buy
Permit
a
to
gun and
purchase?
shoot it. Yeah.
All right, then yeah, you can just. But then you just can't ever transport it if it's loaded. Period. And it
Yeah,
would
why
always
I
have to be
wouldn't.
in your trunk.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That's good. Yeah, if you're okay with that, get a permit to purchase.
I'm gonna go get a SIG.
You don't have SIGs. Oh, a gun. The SIG.
Yeah,
SIG Sauer. Like Adam has.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah, I like my Glock.
Guns are fun.
They're fun. Yeah,
We haven't shot at all this year though.
I have. My 20 gauge. was
Last year we
perfect.
went a shitload. I
Tony's
was just-
shoulder hurt so bad, and I laughed so hard at him.
yeah, 20 gauge.
'Cause even Mo's like, why would you ever get a 20 gauge? And like,
'Cause it's
we shot that day, and my
They're
shoulder
great.
felt great.
yeah.
My shoulder felt
You
great.
shoot all day. I shoot
All
boxes
day.
and boxes through.
And
mine.
guess what? I hit a lot of clay pigeons.
Yeah,
Bone, not to
S-
embarrass him. I threw like 20.
probably hit 5. 0. Wow.
I'm not saying anything.
I wasn't
So nobody was there. That story never happened. The Mummy, you got to watch The
there.
Mummy.
I gotta watch The Mummy. The Simpsons is still a bad show.
That's fine. You have to help me
Um,
bring this cardboard outside if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can do that.
Or we can do it next week. I'm not really worried about it.
Could do it on episode 9.
Well, we made it.
All right.
Episode 8.
Archery,
we went through
archery,
a lot
archery.
of nonsense.
We just had a lot of nonsense, not a lot of prep.
I ranted on the deal, the art of the deal.
The art of the deal, the Trump book.
Yeah, we got. Well, nobody read.
What are you
Trump.
writing down now?
The description.
Oh, do we have to name the show? We can do that off air.
We've always named it off air.
Yeah,
We're gonna go. Okay, so we did it. We burned almost
90
$1.95
minutes.
95. We burned 95
We're
minutes.
crushing it.
We might have a guest next week. Who the fuck knows?
Very, very possible.
We're quad mic
or not
compatible.
possible.
But we love you all. Smash that subscribe on YouTube. Please follow us on either iTunes or Spotify. And,
We're on all platforms.
This is Kev Tom. The numbers
Just
are
doing
going
our
up.
thing.
The numbers,
The
are going
numbers
up.
are up.
And we're gonna evolve in advance and figure this shit out. I have some ideas. But peace and love in the universe. Be good to yourselves. Try not to say the C word too often. It just drives everyone crazy.
Rock and roll.
Bye. Oh yeah, and Lucy's not here just 'cause she chose to be upstairs today.
The
She
goose is not
decided
loose.
She decided to sleep in the bed this podcast, which I don't blame her. So anyway, bye.
Peace.